Have you ever wondered how your favorite websites just appear? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and actually build your very first web page, all from scratch, using the one language that powers the entire internet, HTML. You know that feeling, right? You land on a website and you just think, wow, how on earth did they do that? Well, turns out behind every cool design and every interactive feature, there's a surprisingly simple blueprint. And today, we're going to learn how to read it.
Best way to think about it is like building a house. Seriously, first you need the frame, right? The walls, the floors, the roof, that's your HTML. It's the core structure. Then you make it look good. You add paint, furniture, decorations, that's CSS. And finally, you add the stuff that makes it work, the electricity, the plumbing, that's JavaScript. For now, we're going to focus on that crucial first step, the structure.
So what is this HTML thing really? Well, it's not some scary, complex programming language. Think of it more like a set of instructions you give to a web browser. It's the language that says, hey, put a big headline right here, or this part is a paragraph, and let's put an image over there. It is, quite literally, the skeleton of every single website you've ever visited.
Okay, you ready to see how this all works in the real world? Let's dive in and really take a look at the blueprint of the web.
So this table really breaks it down perfectly. You've got HTML building the house, CSS decorating it, and JavaScript making it all come alive. Now you need all three for a modern website, for sure. But everything, and I mean everything, starts with that solid HTML foundation. A house with a good structure is way easier to paint and wire up, right? Same exact principle applies to a website.
All right, let's get our hands dirty. The best part is, you don't need any expensive, complicated software to start building websites. All you really need is one simple, totally free tool.
So just like a writer uses a word processor, a web developer uses something called a code editor. Now, you could technically use any basic text app, but a proper code editor is like having a super smart assistant. It helps you out by catching mistakes and even finishing your sentences for you. It just makes life so much easier. For this explainer, and honestly, for your whole web development journey, I can't recommend Visual Studio Code enough. Most people just call it VS Code. It's free, it's incredibly powerful, and it's pretty much the standard for professionals, but it's also perfect for beginners. It's a fantastic tool to get started with. Okay, our tools are ready to go. Let's start building. So, the most basic building blocks of HTML are these things called tags. Just think of them as little containers. You've got a container for your headings, a different container for your paragraphs, another for images. These tags tell the browser what kind of content is inside, so it knows exactly how to show it on the screen. Okay, your very first step is to create a new file and save it as index.html. Now, this name is super important. It's a convention. When you go to a website, the browser automatically looks for a file with this exact name to show as the homepage. Think of it like the digital front door to your new house. And now for a little bit of magic that's going to save you so much time. In that new index.html file you made, just type a single exclamation mark and then hit enter. Boom! VS Code instantly fills in all the essential starting code for you. This is called boilerplate, and it's the bare minimum structure that every single HTML page needs. I know, this might look a little intimidating at first, but trust me, it's actually pretty simple. The document type just tells the browser, hey, we're using the latest version of HTML. The HTML tag is the main container for everything else. Then you have the head, which is for all the behind-the-scenes info, and finally, the body. The body is where the real fun happens. That's where you put all the stuff your visitors are actually going to see. So the simplest way to remember this is, the head is for the browser's eyes only. It holds stuff like the page title you see in the browser tab. The body, on the other hand, is for your visitors' eyes. It holds every single thing they see and interact with on the page.
All right, our house has its frame. Now let's add some furniture and start filling it up.
First up, the main title. For this, we use the H1 tag. This tells the browser, hey, this is the most important heading on the whole page. It'll usually make it big and bold, and it's also super important for search engines like Google to understand what your page is all about. For any regular text, you're going to use the paragraph tag, which is just P. You just wrap your sentence in an opening and a closing P tag, and the browser knows to display it as a normal block of text. See? Super easy, right? And what's a website without any links? The anchor tag, or A tag, is your gateway to the rest of the internet. The text you put between the tags is what people will actually click on, and that href part tells the browser where to take them when they do. And finally, let's get some visuals in there with the img tag. The src part points to the image file you want to show, and the alt part is a text description of that image. Now, this is incredibly important for accessibility because it allows screen readers to describe the image to users who are visually impaired. It's a small thing that makes a huge difference. And that's basically it. With just a few simple tags, a heading, a paragraph, a link, and an image, you have all the fundamental pieces of a web page. You've turned these simple text commands into a visual, interactive experience. How cool is that? And that's the key takeaway here. From the simplest little blog to the most massive social network, every single website you use is built on this exact same foundation of structural HTML tags. It's the universal language of the web. So, you now have the power to create your very own corner of the internet. You've learned the blueprint, you have the tools. The only question left is, what are you going to build first?